Hey, hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so hold on, I'm not going to use that deck. I am in the middle of a move, as you guys know, and I have to tell you, I'm a Virgo, right? A big Virgo, like tons and tons of Virgo. I find nothing satisfying about all this moving and cleaning. I always start these bonus reads out with something that's real, and all I'm going to say is I don't like it. That's the energy that we're going to start with. I have no satisfaction with what I am doing right now, but it is getting done. So let's jump on into this storyline. And I'm sorry, that's a blunt sentence, but that's how I'm starting this. I don't like it. We have an Empress, which the Empress goes to the Emperor. So I'm using a deck that I only read in the upright, which these both turned out in the upright anyway. But there's always a dual meaning. So we actually see union between an Emperor and an Empress. And then we have the Five of Cups going to the Six of Cups. So we start out amazing, yet my opening statement is I don't like it. That doesn't really seem like it fits very well with this story, does it? Hold on. Let's just see. From the Five of Cups to the Six of Cups, is somebody irritated that these two are actually possibly going to be getting back together? And we've had an absence, right? We have a Five of Coins going to the Six of Coins. Oh, that's exactly what it is. And indeed, we have somebody who's standing here who is, viewing two individuals. Now, this card actually depicts some of the, like the women suffragettes that are, fighting for women's rights. So it's kind of a tribute or homage to them. But so I'm going to bring up the idea of equality here. Someone doesn't like the fact that we have a very successful couple coming together who had, this pot was cracked and wasn't able to hold water, but now that this masculine is standing here to actually show up and help piece this together and hold it together, that's why we're going from this place of like broken opportunities and missed opportunities to success, and this is returning soulmates. This is being left out in the cold to instead cooperating, collaborating, coming back together. And someone doesn't like it. Somebody doesn't want that kind of equality between these two. Someone wanted things to stay imbalanced, perhaps. What's that all about? What's up with that, yo? 10 of Wands to the Ace of Wands. Wow, this was a big issue. Aries, hush, my love. Baby, hush. This was a big issue that, as someone has actually stopped being concerned with what others wanted and turning their attention to what they truly want. Also, it's not just what they truly want. You notice this is like the hand of the divine that's, coming out of the sky and bringing this gigantic flaming Q-tip. Sorry, that's what it looks like to me. Is a torch, but I'm going to call it the gigantic flaming Q-tip. And is lighting this person's path, saying, excellent. You're listening to your heart. You're laying down the burdens of what others will think. Why have we had somebody who is against this connection? Okay, because that's a storyline that I have right now, considering I am starting out with a statement of I don't like it. And keep in mind, I'm cleaning up things, right? So that could factor into this as well. This storyline begins with that statement, but it's also that someone is cleaning up possibly a relationship, getting it back in order. These amazing individuals are about to come together and share a loving connection, and someone is not supportive of this at all. So why not? We have an Ace of Coins to the Two of Coins. This is all about divine timing, but someone did not want this. Hold on, I'm knocking over a deck that my elbow is resting on. There is this element of timing, but you notice this is an old-fashioned pocket watch. And I can't help but think somebody has an outdated idea, especially because this is someone who didn't believe that this could have equality. We could be talking about a relationship where somebody has a really outdated idea of, not that there's ever a time when I think this is okay at any era in history, but if for some reason someone is, I'm going to say like an older person with rooted ideas and opinions that are like, I don't want you to be with so-and-so because that doesn't fit into my outdated, outmoded ideas of what is, going to be successful or workable. This could be like, someone who has like a very narrow vision, because it's like, well, in my day, we didn't do such and such. In my day, you didn't like marry someone who was like had already been married to somebody else. It could be something where it's like way, if it was like 16th century, then that was perhaps a different era where, people didn't already have marriages and divorces and then married again, perhaps. I'm just trying to give like a broad example here, but we do have something about the times have changed, but someone's opinions have not. So in their mind, they want things to go the way they think it should go, but it's really time that they see things differently. So whoever the character is who says, I don't like it, I don't want these two people to be in this beautiful, harmonious connection. I don't care how amazing they are together, how much they love each other. I just flat out, it doesn't suit my perspective. Well, this is not up to this character, right? This person, it's all about them. And that's not the way that works. So from the Ace of Coins to the Two of Coins, they may be having to adjust their mindset. This could be, say it's like a disapproving mother or father figure or something along those lines. We have a Three of Wands going to the Four of Wands. And we have the Queen of Wands going to the King of Wands. Any way we slice this, I feel like whoever doesn't like the idea of this couple that is so strong, going to be able to come together, going to be able to have this amazing relationship. I feel like the individual who is not pleased about this, not only is it because it's like there's something about the time and their opinions are really outdated, but they also have an opinion of how a relationship should take shape. So even if they were going to, okay, well, maybe I'll come around and say, fine, you can be with that person, but you need to first follow the path that I set for you, which is you need to first, date for this long and this long and this long and go down this winding path before you ever get to the point of marrying. Well, this Emperor and Empress are like, this looks like a marriage right here. They're ready to tie the knot. Somebody else is absolutely not okay with that because they want them to do it according to their plan, their timeline. And it's interesting because they don't want this person apparently to cohabitate with the individual that they love. So to me, this is starting to sound like a storyline where is somebody standing up to a mother or father figure who's been really bossy or someone who is, they just mouth off a lot about how they think it should be. Because here's the thing, we see this King and this Queen of Wands together, but she's standing here looking over this empty, like a model of a palace, almost like, well, you can't live with that person until, you're married. And it's like whoever this is that's disapproving has a very staunch opinion about everything, that those two should be kept apart. They can court, maybe they'll allow that, but they can't like cohabitate. And it's like, times have changed, things have changed. It's really nobody else's business. We've gained a lot more personal freedom that we should have always had. But I feel like this character is still very, like they're only giving a little bit, but they don't want to accept that this is like full on happening or is going to happen. So let's jump back in the story for just a minute, because we started out with this king and this queen, right? Or excuse me, emperor, empress, that are like together. Tell me about who is it who's making this choice to come together? I'm getting the opinion that someone is standing there and they are explaining to like a disapproving whatever parental figure that this is what I'm going to be doing. We got a Knight of Cups going to the Queen of Cups. Yeah, that's what I thought. Our knights are action takers. This is somebody who is saying, I'm going to be going toward the person that I love. And I feel like they're making this announcement. I'm going to be going toward the person that I love. You'll notice this knight has not yet come toward her. Again, I'm going back in time before we get to this, because I'm trying to figure out why, because we're dealing with adult people here, right? So why does somebody have so much to say about it that they don't like this connection? They don't want to see these two come together and be happy. Well, who is the person, first off, who is announcing this? It looks like it's a knight. So we have a knight who is full of love, who's ready to go and offer their cup of love to someone that they really care about. This is somebody who's ready to come in and offer like everything. They're not coming in to say, I'm going to date this person. They're like telling a mother or father figure that I'm going to go and I'm going to ask so-and-so to marry me. And I need you to know, because I don't want it to hit you by surprise, but this is what I'm going to do. And the reaction is no. that can't be done. Then the reaction is, well, maybe I'll concede that maybe you can try dating them. But stay apart from them, don't actually be with them. It's like this disapproving person is still trying to get it their way because they know that this knight is serious. They're going after the person that they love. So we just got the Page of Cups going to the Knight of Cups. So they have some apologies to make. And we have the Seven of Cups going to the Eight of Cups. This may be the first time in this knight's life that they've ever really taken the stand. I feel like this knight is maturing. It's happening all of a sudden. They've finally realized that letting other people decide for them who they can date, who they can love, who they can marry, how a relationship has to flow, letting somebody else call the shots is not them being mature. So this person is actually, this knight is maybe even making that statement as well to whoever this disapproving family member is. So I feel like this whole dialogue right now, if I were doing puppet theater, I would be having a knight. So somebody who still feels young, they may not be young because they're coming in to marry their empress, right? They are actually of a mature age, but the behavior or the dynamics that they've been trapped in has kept them at this position where they're always like being told how their life should go, who they should love, who they're allowed to date. And maybe for a long time, they allowed their life to be semi-dictated. And they're now saying, actually even speaking up for themselves and saying, look, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to be making choices for myself, like really, truly making choices for myself. I have been confused about what to do, maybe because I've listened too often to other people's opinions. But at this point, this stage in my life, I really should be making my own choices here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to love who I love, and I'm going to go get the person that I want to be with. And I feel like this is their proclamation. This is what they are explaining, because all these cards, you notice we have no major arcana. We only have cards that express a journey. And we saw the knight and, the knight's, activity and what they're planning. We've seen that. We've seen it from the point of like being just a page going to the knight, then the knight going to get their queen. This is somebody who's breaking away from the confusion, I'm going to say the immaturity also, even though I don't mean that to sound so harsh. The immaturity of allowing others to dictate their life is over. This person is making the statement to whomever is disapproving of what they're about to do. But again, this person's disapproving energy is actually very unfair. It's very unbalanced in this storyline. And I only say that because we have this woman's suffrage card, and I can't ignore that. I almost feel like we might be having possibly like a disapproving mother figure who disapproves of another feminine that this knight loves, because in her time, women didn't get to behave in certain ways. Women maybe weren't supposed to be so independent. Maybe they weren't supposed to, like handle their business and have the rights and the freedom to choose what they wanted and, make lives for themselves so much. And maybe that's something that this person still sees as like, they've cautioned their son or their knight against being with a woman who is so liberated, I'll say. That's kind of the storyline that I'm getting here. Is like that could be part of the disapproving energy here. Tell me about that energy from the person to this feminine. We have a 2 of Swords going to a 3 of Swords. They've been insisting that this kind of person will only bring their knight heartbreak. They've possibly told this big old tale about how if you get with somebody like that, that it's just going to lead to heartbreak. Don't do it. Why is this person so insistent on putting their 2 cents in all of this? We have the 9 of Cups going to the 10 of Cups. And we have the 8 of Cups going to the 9 of Cups. It's either this or it's this could be that someone doesn't want to see their son or their daughter get married at a certain point in their lives because they're like, no, like, your life is so much better when you just have all this freedom to do whatever you want to do and you're not tied down to anybody. Like, go find your 10 of Cups as a single solo independent person. It's like they don't want to see this person married. Why don't they want to see this person in a happy relationship with someone that they love and stepping up into that powerful role as because this, our knight wants to be the emperor to an empress. Our knight is in love. Our knight wants a grown-up relationship where they seem really confident about this, but the individual who keeps saying, no, you shouldn't do that, they'll break your heart, really they want this person to stay single. And almost like stay single, and you notice how this person is coming back to the village. It's like, stay single and just have all your happiness here at home with your family. Don't go make your own family, just stay with this family. So it feels pretty clingy. But I'm asking why. We have Ace of Swords going to the Two of Swords. Again, someone is really very, I don't want to say it, very opinionated, speaks stuff like they know it, and they don't budge. They lay down rules and they expect rules to be followed. I'm not going to lie, this character who's so disapproving of someone else's personal life choices, I don't like this story at all with the way they're behaving. I don't like this character's behavior. I think this character is overbearing. I think this character is, especially, I mean, come on, look at this. They speak and it's like, I expect you to follow my rules. I know what's true. This is how it is. And they will not see anything else because behind them is the Two of Swords. This person is totally blocked off to any other thing that could be true. What is their great big issue with this feminine though? Because I'm still not sure. It seems like it's not an issue with the feminine so far yet. It's an issue with the queen, and it doesn't have to be a feminine. We've talked about her as a queen that this knight wants to go toward. But this disapproving character seems like their real reason for disapproving so far is because they want this knight to stay really connected to the family and not build a family of their own. But what is their real issue with the queen? We have Queen of Cups going to the King of Cups. Honestly, it's just that they see this queen as a real rival, even someone who would perhaps really lift up this, their knight into a really powerful, really mature individual. And for some reason, this character wants someone to stay beholden to them, needing their advice, wanting, I don't know if this person is living their life through their, the knight. So say it is that odd dynamic, or we have like an overbearing someone who is living their life through their single son or daughter or friend or a niece or nephew or whatever the dynamic, whatever the relationship is. It's somebody who they don't want this individual to step up into the role of this incredible, mature individual who is more connected to the queen. They know that this queen would actually put this person on a pedestal and would make this person be their mate, and would actually even make this person feel more powerful, more respected. And for some reason, this character doesn't really want their knight to ever step into that energy of really knowing that they are very amazing, that they really are a high value person. So it's interesting that their big issue is, I don't want this queen to make this knight feel really mature and really proud of themselves. That's not a nice vibe. I don't like readings like this. This is an odd story. We've got the High Priestess to the Empress. Wow. There is to me, this feels like a really overwhelming mother figure. Someone who, this is my baby can't have any other like woman's, attention that would sway them. I've been the number one female in their life and I want to remain that way. I mean, it looks like a cliched storyline that we have here, but that's what's hidden away, is like, I don't want this person to wind up, this knight to wind up having like their own baby, their own life, their own wife, their own situation where I'm going to be demoted. I won't be the number one woman in their lives anymore, where my word goes. I've enjoyed a certain amount of control. Okay, this is a tough message. I don't like this message. I keep saying that, and that's how I started out. I don't like it. Tell me what's really going to happen then, because this knight seems to just simply be announcing, hey, this is what I'm doing. We've got a 5 of Wands to the 6 of Wands. We have the 6 of Coins going to the 7 of Coins. This knight is doing what is right for them. This knight has been, it might have caused a ton of chaos between the knight and the lady that he wants to be with, because that 5 of Wands talks of, trials, tribulations, even competition. But the competition in this case could have just been an overwhelming, like, conversation that was always being put in their ear about how, they shouldn't be with this particular woman. And for a while, maybe they listened to that. Maybe there was, when we have someone who we respect and we think that they give us good advice, we tend to listen sometimes. And maybe this knight listened for a while, and it caused all kinds of issues, because you notice these two are now back to back. They're not even facing each other. So there was some kind of rift in this relationship. And we saw that before as well, when we saw that 5 of Pentacles going, but it's changing, right? It's going to the 6 of Pentacles. We had the 5 of Cups going to the 6 of Cups. Somebody is breaking away from the influence of another individual who was really holding a lot of power over them, telling them who they can't love. And they're breaking away from that now. And they're really, truly feeling so much better about themselves. They're feeling like, no, I'm really ready for this. I want a life with the partner that I love. Okay, so here's the thing. They want to have long-term success. They want to give equal to a partnership. They're basically, I think that they are reassigning a role to whomever. And let's just say it was an overwhelming mother figure who really wanted to dictate what their baby's life could be like, because they hadn't identified that their babies had grown up, and the grown-ups have to choose what they want for themselves. But I feel like that is the reason this storyline begins with someone proclaiming, this is the woman I'm going to marry, or man I'm going to marry. It doesn't matter. This could be a same-sex couple. This could be anything like that, where somebody's saying, ma, dad, whoever the oppressive figure has been, I'm going to marry this person. This is who I love. This is a relationship I'm going to have. And I need you to know that, because I'm reassigning your role in my life. You don't tell me how it's going to be. I'm doing what I need to for me. This person, we already saw them being very independent. They had been confused for a long time, I think. They're not confused anymore. So here they go. They're making this choice for themselves. So here's the thing. We haven't talked at all about the recipient of this love offer. Let's take a look at the recipient. So the feminine, the queen, how does she feel about this? Equality now. We have a 10 of Coins going to the Ace of Coins. We have the Justice card going to the Hanged Man. Two cards that speak so heavily of justice and equality, right? I mean, literally the word equality is written on this. On one hand, it's like, wow, this has been long overdue that you would step up and you would actually really, truly have a new beginning with me. Now, here's the thing. There could have been money involved in all this as well. This could have even been a situation where, say, that disapproving, we'll just stick with a parental figure, even though it could have been anyone in this story. But say that disapproving individual was even trying to say, so-and-so they're just going to want you for your money or something along those lines. That is absolutely not true at all. So this queen, if they're coming into her to make her an offer, they're coming in to actually give equally to this connection. This queen doesn't take from anyone. She probably wouldn't even allow that. She is, and again, the mother might have used it as a double-edged sword. Like, this is such a liberated woman. She does whatever she wants. She works in some industry that I don't approve of. She makes her own money, but then she might also just want you for your money. It's like, you can't argue on both sides of that. But we've got this strange equality comes up too many times not to contemplate that. So either this has to do with outdated ideas of the roles that people have to play. This is a guy's role, this is a lady's role, or, every couple has to figure out what's right for them, right? There is no set rule of what's appropriate or inappropriate, because couples have to decide it for themselves. The thing is, this is about equality. These are two people who would be really beautifully matched. This is a feminine who would actually, stand beside her mate as an equal and as a partner. We've already seen them even when they were back to back. These two are a match. These two are, our feminine seems to be pretty proud. You notice she actually has her crown on before he gets it. I almost feel as if our queen has been more independent maybe most of her life, and they are just now, that our masculine is, our knight is just now breaking away from control of others to become a more independent person. So our feminine might have lived a life where it was like she kind of had to grow up young, she kind of had to look out for herself, she kind of had to not like, maybe she didn't have family to live with, maybe she's always made her own way, maybe she's pretty fiercely independent. Maybe she's all about equality, maybe she cares a lot about things being fair in racial justice and all kinds of ways, because this kind of equality comes up a ton. She seems to be a pretty liberated feminine if she's a feminine, but heck, you can be a feminist and be a masculine as well, right? Like that's a really strong vibe in my own family. Like we've always been all about like, truly making sure that people can be treated with equal dignity. And I feel like that might be really important to her. And I feel as if that was a threat to this other individual, because how they've been behaving has not been fair. So they may not like people that are very much about justice and fairness. So this feminine, if this knight is coming into her to actually stand beside her now, as her equal, not to have like a mother figure who's in between them, she would be ready and willing to say, then yes, we can have a new beginning. That will be the only way that we can have the new beginning. Equality now. However, here's the other thing with that Justice card, with the Hanged Man, they still have a ton to work out between the two of them now, right? Because we have a lot of things that, just because we have a knight who's finally like making choices for themselves, choosing the partner that they want, they are graduating to be more like her equal, where they are willing to like be independent of others, make choices for themselves. Their choices aren't going to be dictated by family anymore. But now begins the task of them being in maybe their first relationship ever, no matter what age they are, where they are going to have to work through things with their partner, not involve a mother for advice, not have anyone else. This is going to require like a lot of understanding that the two of them have perhaps lived very differently, have been influenced very differently, because our feminine here seems like nobody influences her but her. And they seem, it's almost like she's aware that this person has been unfair, and she may still be reserving a little bit of judgment, going like, I'm not sure that they know how to be in a relationship with another person, because they've always had their family so invested in their personal choices. So I feel like she's, I don't want to say cautious. Well, we have an emperor to the Hierophant. She's at a point where, here's the thing. From the emperor to the Hierophant, we have this gap where the sun is shining in. I feel as if on one hand, she might actually be patient, because that Hanged Man can be patience. She might be saying, I understand you're coming in because you want to offer me marriage. You're saying you're choosing me. You're not letting your family get involved anymore. You're 100%. It's all about you and me. But here's the thing. Let's give it some time. Let's not jump into a marriage. I understand those are your intentions. I'm glad those are your intentions. But we really need to get clear on how we interact. So let's delay the part of you're my emperor, I'm your empress, but let's delay the part of marriage until we see, how does that fit with us? How do we interact? Because if this will be the first relationship this person has ever had that was of their own choosing, that, keep in mind, this person just got their crown. This person just now got their crown. She's been independent and single for a long time, making her own choices. This is the first choice maybe they've ever made that's just solely their own. And I feel like she's being pretty prudent. She's not pushing this away. She's just saying, let's see how we do. Let's let you adjust to this whole making your own choice kind of thing. We got a King of Coins going to the Page of Coins. We got the Seven of Swords going to the Eight of Swords. And we got the Lovers going to the Chariot. She's definitely laying it out where it's like, it's not that I don't believe that you mean that you say this, but you're coming in this big rush to say that you want to get married. I'm the one for you. No one's going to get in between us. That is an amazing proclamation. But we go from, you're going to give me everything, to, this is new. You're going to have to learn what that really means. So we go from the king to the page, right? We just downgraded. Not like, oh, this person doesn't know what they're in for. But that is kind of what I mean. They don't know what they're in for yet. So making big commitments like this is going to require somebody to adjust and adapt, and for these two to learn each other. So it's like, let's take it as baby steps. I hear what you're saying. You want this huge thing with me, but let's make sure that you didn't over pronounce what you are ready for. Especially, there can be some unintentional lies or unintentional things that this person overstates how ready they are for something. They could actually still find that they're fairly stuck. Maybe there's, if say this was somebody who was controlled by the family's money, this is an example where somebody could be very brave and say, I'm ready to love you no matter what, and we're going to be married. But when the funds dry up from the trust fund or whatever it may be, they go to being a page, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this might feel a little unsteady. This might feel a little scary. This might feel like maybe I overstated how brave I was, because it's like she's giving them time and space to see how they really handle this. Are you really choosing me? Are you really going to move toward me? Are you really going to make the changes to be my partner? You're saying you want to, but I'm not going to assume that all that's true until you really recognize what that means. Because this person could have a ton of hurdles. Like I say, money could be a big thing here. She is hoping that this person really means it and that they really do choose her. But I also feel as if she's guarding her own heart a little bit and saying, I know how hard it is to make choices on your own and be your own advocate, because I've done it my whole life for myself. I don't know that everybody else can do the same thing that I've had to do. I'm comfortable with this, but they may not be. We have a 10 of Swords going to the Ace of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords going to the Queen of Swords. I gotta say, even though this is a major transformation, I feel like without reducing how she feels about them, she is still able to say, it is going to require us to have like some boundaries and ground rules, so that we can protect our relationship. Some things have to change dramatically. This could even be like, maybe this person is not going to be able to, depending on how volatile, a family situation is, if somebody is going to continuously try to stir the pot and make trouble between them, she could even say, you're going to have to, it's not like me or them necessarily, but we do have to have rules about how someone's going to, speak to me or disrespect me. And, all those things have to be worked out. It's a lot of details to work out. And I'm certainly not going to be, I'm not going to be willing to accept less in a partnership than a partner who stands beside me and, protects my honor, or, whatever it is. This is interesting because I think she's hoping that this person really is sure about what they want and that they really move toward her in the way that they say they're going to. But she's basically saying, until you're saying all of these things, but until I see action, I'm still not going to say that we're together. You would have to really show me the changes that you've made, because there is something about cutting this off. This could be cutting off, like maybe they were still living partly with that family or something like that. And it's like, you can't do that. You can't still be their kid, but not follow their rules and then try to be with me. You would have to really, there's a lot about transformation. And this is a heart-to-heart conversation that says, I'm not upset, I'm not angry, but you're making all these promises, but you would have to really show me that you're genuinely ready. This could be them moving away from family in order to relocate near her. And it's like, well, I'm not going to do long distance with you. It's interesting because they're starting out with marriage and she's saying, no, let's not jump into that, but let's try to make this work. But I don't want to do something where we're doing long distance. You would have to make the changes, or we together have to make changes to actually be together. This person looks like they're ready to do it, like really ready to do it. It is kind of like there's a bit of a test in here, not saying that's right or wrong, but it's kind of like, are they really going to choose me? I would have to see them make those moves, is what this looks like. 7 of Wands to the 8 of Wands, lots to communicate about and lots of obstacles that they're still going to have to overcome. I mean, there's a question mark of like, how much of this, like, star-crossed lovers storyline do we want to deal with? If we're going to do this, let's go ahead and let's show that we're making progress to do this. Let's keep communicating. Let's make this happen. The Fool card to the Magician. These two could be successful. So it's been quite a story. It's been quite an epic saga here. But there is potential here for these two to really make it. But again, it requires genuine conviction on the part of certainly the individual who is saying, this is what I want. And it's like, okay, then you've got to put your money where your mouth is. You've got to back it up with, like, you're saying you want this. You're going against what your family maybe wants. They don't want to see us together. But if you're really going to do this, there's going to be repercussions because the family's not going to like it. But then there's also going to be that you have to really choose me. And that means all of it. Like, we really have to choose each other. We really have to be together. So it looks like this is possible, though. Kind of a cool story. All right, you guys, take care. Lots of love. Bye for now.